Hey guys, I'm MeeMee and I do Allsorts. Have you had enough resin pieces yet? Because I haven't. As you can see, I have another box from Sophie and Toffee, but this one is different. This one is the Allsorts. So if you don't know, Sophie and Toffee make these really beautiful resin boxes. Every month is a different theme, and this is March's box. And I am super excited to get into this. If you haven't already seen it, I have actually done a Kingdom Hearts one, which I was super excited about and I was super thrilled with it. And I actually got these boxes on the exact same day, so it was like a no-brainer of which one I wanted to do first. Kingdom Hearts 1, there was no argument about it. But I'm super excited about this one, not only because it is an absolutely gorgeous box and that reminds me so much of Japan, but red is also my favourite colour, and I also really love the theme of this one. By the way, I'm not sponsored, not affiliated, I'm also an absolute noob on this, and if you've seen the last video you've seen how well that turned out. So then I can't wait to show you what's in this box. And in March's box we get, boom, and as you can see right out of the box, literally, we have a honeycomb bee themed. So you can see why I'm super excited, because I absolutely love bees. Now, bees aren't the only thing that I've been thinking about since I got this box, because if you've played the Final Fantasy VII Remake, you'll know why. So here we've got our instruction booklet. I'm not going to take a look again because I want to see what's in the box myself. So first off, I see that we got gold flakes. I do actually have this myself, but they're like 24 karat gold sheets of paper. Well, let's say paper. They're just in very small sheets and I still have yet to use them, but I'm terrified. But I love the fact that we can get so much of it, and honestly this really does give a really beautiful, like, you know, gold leaf scattered effect. And then next up we have UV resin in a 60-gram bottle. This one you do have to use a UV light with it, like this one, or a UV lamp if you don't have that. It's very quick and easy to use, and on the back you've got all of the instructions on how to do it. Alright, and up next in a Ziploc bag, which is a nice touch, we have colour jewellery LED resin. Okay, I've definitely never heard of that one. And it looks like that I've gone into a bit of a leak. And this is in gold, and it comes in a 10ml bottle. And again, we can get instructions on the back. So it's a super clear acrylic resin, then gets cured under UV/LED light or direct sunlight. So we'll be giving that one a go. Right, up next we have these clasps. So we've got Ziplocs and Ziplocs. So we've got tiny jump rings here in gold, and I'm getting glitter herpes everywhere. Ooh, we've got earring studs here in a hexagonal shape, and they're in gold. And then we have clip-on earrings by the looks of it in gold. So up next we have a pot of mica powder, and wow, that is a very neon orange. Oh, I daren't even open it. Ooh. Wow, ooh, that'll be super fun to use. But I love the fact that it comes in a container and it's a generous amount. Speaking of which, we have 2 more mica powders here in magic yellow and black. It's that beautiful, the camera doesn't want to focus. These come in a Ziploc bag, which is amazing. And then up next is our first mould. It's a very large and a very deep design of a honeycomb with a little bee there, and on the edge it looks like it's got dripping honey. I really don't know what to use this for, maybe like a giant pendant. And then along the sides you've got 2 flowers, and I think it's a honey wand or something. I'm not entirely too sure, I've never had one before, but oh my god, have you? I mean, you can see until better now I've got my glove underneath, but you can see how cute that little bee is. And then you've got a little flower, and then there's the honey wand, whatever it is. And I wonder what these ones are for. You know, I wonder if that'll be like making a pendant. I don't know. Ooh. Right, and last but not least, we have all of these amazing mini molds, and it's kind of impossible for me to show you how many. And there's so many different ones here that you can actually make into pendants. You can tell because they've got these little hoops around them. As I've learned from the Kingdom Hearts one, you might want to do 2 of them to make it a lot more sturdier, because these things are actually quite flimsy. So then let's have a closer look. So I'm guessing that these are little honey jars or something. So these will be your charms. You know, make a honeycomb pendant, more honey jars, a bigger honey jar with a little bee on it, and you've got the honeycomb with honey on it, and you've got the bee, and you've got a spoon with honey on it, and at the top end's in the shape of a bear, and then the honeycomb with something on it, a honeycomb pendant, a cute little bumblebee, a nice big fat bumblebee, a small fatter bumblebee. They're the ones that I really do love. I love the fat bees. Then you've got something like a hive with the little bee in it, when the whole is honey dripping out of it. Another honeycomb with the whatever it is on it. I think it's flowers, I'm not too sure. And you've got some flowers in 2 different sizes, and we've got another honey wand. And last but not least, we've got this bear-shaped one. It's got a wand sticking out the top, and it's got honey dripping down. You can see where the lid is, if I move my finger out the way. And it's got a nice little fat bee on it. And they're all of your little charms. Ooh, I want to make one now. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Just don't know which one yet. So that's everything that I've got. I'm going to actually clean out this box because I love it so much and don't want to keep it. So I'm going to clean it out, and I'm going to have a think of a couple of little projects that I want to do, and I'll get right back to you. Alright, so I found out something very interesting. I found out that this is actually a coaster, which I thought was very weird based on the design, but like I said, I had no idea what was actually in this box. It was just bee themed. So I'm actually going to make this because it looks very interesting, and not only that, but I also found out that this is actually a thermo change powder. So according to the instruction list, it changes with heat from orange to yellow, and it glows in fluorescent green under an LED light. So I want to give the LED light one a try. Can you see anything yet? Don't know what it's like on there, but I can't see anything. Just little sparkles. Maybe it needs to be in resin. I'm not entirely too sure. Like I said, I really want to try this. So what I'm going to... So what the plan is that I'm going to do the little bee. The main body of the coaster is going to be in yellow. And then these hexagons, once everything is cured, I'm going to fill them with this thermo change. So when you put like a cup of tea on top, these bits will change. At least that's the theory anyway. Even though that I haven't actually opened this from the package yet, I am actually going to do the bee gold just so that there's some kind of contrast. So that's what I plan on doing. So this is going to be super exciting. Also, just before I start, I would love to go through some do's and don'ts. First of all, when working with resin, it isn't chemical and there will be chemical reactions, so please wear gloves. Unfortunately, I don't have any gloves to use, so please do not do what I do. I haven't been able to find any like cotton gloves. Also, the thing when working with resin, always have a fan on, wear a mask, have a window open, just make sure it's all well ventilated, and that I will be doing. But please be very careful when doing this. I don't know why, but my mat isn't as flat as it should be. So with all that said, let's get creating. Also as well, there is no white to this, so I also picked this out from the Kingdom Hearts box as well. So maybe it was just as well that I got the Kingdom Hearts box and the bee box, and you know, at the exact same time. Right, so now is the bit that I'm quite nervous for, which is using the brand new Colour Jewellery LED resin. Now what I'm doing here is I'm just going to leave like the main body and fit in the bag, mainly because it is like super sticky. So I'm just going to take the top off and you know, just pour it in there and hope for the best. Ooh, oh, that's so pretty. Should have mixed it up a bit. Right, so I did the best and could mix in the mould itself because I didn't realise that I needed to mix it up. So, alright. So I've just mixed in my biggest batch of resin that I've made. So all I've gotten is the yellow mica powder and about 40 millilitres of resin. I'm a little bit nervous about doing this. I'm going to try and do this in stages since it's quite a deep mould. Right, and here we go. I just hope then that's alright. Got resin all over my mat. Now I'm bringing in the big guns. So this is 54 watts UV nail lamp, and I'm hoping that this is actually going to work. So I'm going to bake this until at least it stops getting really sticky, so it could take a while. You know, it's like the longer I stare at this, the more I really hate the colour of this. I'm sorry, but pink is not necessarily my favourite colour. But anyway, this has been cooking for quite a while, and I mean quite a while. So what have I learned from this? First of all, don't put the whole resin in, do it in layers. It took a very, very long time for it to actually cure. When it's finally cured, and so now it's time to unmold, which is super exciting. So here we go. I think the most satisfying and the most nerve-wracking. Right, so the mold is empty. Oh wow. That is epic. I really do love how that bee came out, and that gold came beautifully. Even though I do think it needed to be mixed up a little bit more. But that is actually really cool. I even love how I actually managed to get all of the details in. I'm going to have to go in and, you know, spruce up a bit of the colour. You know, where the gold's bled into the wings. But for the first time doing a big mold like this, that is epic. I mean, the other side is like totally different. I mean, you can see all of the bubbles, but you're not really going to see that. And it's a little bit warped and thinned up, but it's expected. Well, at least for me anyway. So what I'm going to do now, whilst I was waiting for that to cook, I mixed some of the collagen mica powder. So I'm now going to fill in these little bits. And I have actually not put a lot of pigment in this. I just noticed that there's a couple of air bubbles there as well. I love how this colour actually makes it look like there's honey. I'm going to have to be super careful with this one. I don't want to lose the bee. Of course you can see because I'm left-handed and I'm pouring with my right. As you can see, I'm scooping and like plopping it in. I don't want to lose like whatever the star detail is. And I'm actually thinking giving some nice little contrast. Right, time for bake number 723. Alright, and so that's that. Everything is cooked, everything is cured, fucking came out. I love how I've actually decided to do this. Unfortunately, I'm not that to depth in the thermo change and pigment powders yet, but it did work yesterday, and after when it started curing it wouldn't work anymore, but it did turn yellow. So I don't know why it's not doing it today. I mean, putting it under a UV light, you will be able to see that it does turn green. I know it doesn't seem much when that is turning green, even though that is showing bright yellow on the screen. But it does have the fluorescence to it. It's just for some strange reason it's not colour changing. I literally just did this after filming and used my heat gun with this, and as you can see it does actually change colour. There you go. So it does change colour, and it's just me being an idiot and not knowing how to use things. So yeah, it does actually work, so don't be a MeeMee. But at least it came out a little bit less sticky and when I put less pigment in. You know, I can say I'm new at this, so clearly I'm the one doing something wrong. And whilst I was actually doing this and did some little bees as well, you know, just to use up some of the resin that I had left, so I made some bees. They're not exactly perfect, but they came out a lot better than I thought that they would. There is still quite a bit of bleeding, despite the fact that I was curing them in between. Some of it did come out a bit muddy, but again, that's due to inexperience. But I really do love the way how they came out. And they'll make quite nifty little charms. So honestly, I absolutely love doing this project, and the fact that this is my first biggest project that I've ever done. So I definitely do want to do more of things, and maybe some more of maybe try out some more of things, and you know, make necklaces and stuff out of them, and actually use the gold leaf flakes, which I'm actually kind of upset that I hadn't done it in this project. You know, I was thinking that I could have at least put something in the yellow or something, but you know, I suppose I didn't want to go too ambitious. I don't know how ambitious that you can get, but for someone like me, I didn't want to go all out. So yeah, again, I'm just so pleased with this. I can't tell but to, you know, be overjoyed at how it came out, you know, considering, and I've learned so much from it, and so I'm going to stop there and stop gushing over everything. So if you guys would actually like to have your own Sophie and Toffee Elves box, I will leave the link in the description box below. You know, if you are interested, keep an eye out, because there is a different theme every month. You know, the next one coming up is board games, and there is a Jumanji themed one. I mean, how can you not like Jumanji? So with that in said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.